the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, it's the Carabao Cup Final Eve. Yeah, ahead of our game tomorrow. Less than 24 hours to go now, guys and girls. And yeah, we can't wait. So before we get into it, I don't know what happened with the intro there. It just seemed to stop for some reason. So I don't know what's happened. But if you like what you see, then please smash the like button. It does help the channel with the search results. So smash those likes. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. Currently on 389 subscribers, so 11 away from 400. Love to smash that by the end of February. That would be absolutely fantastic. And also, if you'd like to make a donation to the channel, voluntary of course, there is a link there. Click the link and follow the instructions. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. So let's get into some comments first. And Pablo says, "Evening, Tony. Not long now, bud. More and more nervous." Yeah, exactly. Don't be too nervous, though. Spotter, good evening to you, mate. He says, "I've started having the air shits already, bundling nerves. Have a couple of drinks, mate. You'll be fine." Jake says, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving. Luke says, "Evening, everyone. Getting more and more nervous the more I think about it." Yeah, but I'm sure we'll be fine tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Jody, evening all. Hi again, Jody. Nice to see you again. Mighty Mag, evening, Tony. Evening again, Mighty Mag. Andrew says, "I read Mr. T. Hey, I'm absolutely fine, mate. Buzzing. Mag debates, tune. Absolutely, absolutely." Jody says, "Black and White Army." Absolutely, mate. Too right. Mag debates says, "Not scared to admit it. Got a bit emotional watching the Trafalgar Square scenes." Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? The scenes there, Trafalgar Square. Junior, hi mate. Hope you're all right. He says, "Let's be having you. You manx shithouses. How are the lads?" Hey, definitely, mate. Definitely, Junior. And again, great having you on the channel the other night. And everybody's loved your show. Gary says, "Good evening, Tony." Good evening to you as well, Gary. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's strange to think, though, this time tomorrow, this little beauty could be on her way to Newcastle. Yeah, so the Carabao Cup could be on its way home to St James's Park and getting all nicely put in the old trophy cabinet, which would be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? And yeah. And those scenes stay in Trafalgar Square are absolutely fantastic as well. I mean, you can't go wrong with that at all. And yeah, and great to be going to the new Wembley for a trophy as well. So bring it on. We're not scared of Man United. Let's be real. People are going on, "Oh, well, I prefer Rashford to be injured." Don't worry about Rashford. Why are you worrying about Rashford? Yes, he's scoring goals, but he can be stopped. So don't worry about Rashford. And if he has got any slight knocks, he will not be playing on the left. They'll have to play him as a central striker because he can't play on the left because he'll do too much work and he could end up hurting himself. So, and not only that, if we get this Man United team and we get a goal or two up, maybe, or at least a goal up by half time, second half they could tire, because remember, they've only just played Thursday. They haven't had a huge turnaround for this game. We've had a full week off, apart from training, but we've not had no football since last Saturday when we got beat off Liverpool. So look in the positives. We've got more to gain than Man United have, because they've got such a short turnaround. So lots of things to be positive for, guys. Lots of things to be positive for. Andrew says John will be in his red shirt about now. Yeah. Well, look. As far as I know, he's on his way back to the hotel. He's in the tube station at the moment, trying to get back to the hotel. So he may make an appearance. I've got to send him the link, so he may make an appearance, Mr. Sinclair. So if he comes on, you can give him stick. Junior says, get into them, do them, kick the bastards all over. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Too right. Jody says, John be getting a free scarf before the match. Yeah, apparently the Man United fans are all getting scarves, aren't they, tomorrow? It's are they just trying to copy something we do, or something that we've done in the past, you know? Is that because their fans come from across London? So who knows? Tony, what's your plans for watching the match? Well, plans are, I'm still undecided at the moment, but I may head down to London tomorrow morning. Well, tomorrow afternoon. Because the only thing is, I just want to make sure I get into a pub to watch it. That's the problem. Now, I don't want to get down to London and I get stuck in a car. Yes, I can get Sky Go on my phone and I can watch it on my phone. But I don't want to end up getting down there and not being able to watch it, and, you know, not getting with the excitement. So I'm in two minds whether to go or not. I might go, I might not. I don't know yet. But if I do go, I will be down there and I will do a show when I'm down there. And I will do it live from wherever I am. And I'll try and get some fans on as well. So it'll be absolutely fantastic, that. Matt says, hi, Tony and chatters. Hi, Matt. Hope you're well, mate. And you're getting ready for the match tomorrow. Well, you know, and what time in the morning is the kick off for you? Because it'll be very early, I would imagine. Paul says, hey, Tony. Hi, Paul. I hope you're well, mate. And Jody says, is it special treatment for the Cockney Manx to try and get them up north to Old Trafford for a match? Yeah, exactly. Luke says, our supporters on match giving out free scarves. Yeah, exactly. They've got to give out free scarves to get their fans motivated. I mean, it's just a joke, isn't it? How much is a train ticket? I wouldn't chance going if you're not certain about being able to watch it in a pub. It's £26 return. I'll go from Cambridge North to London, which is about an hour and a half. Train's direct. I mean, if I can, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm undecided whether to go or not, unless I can get guaranteed. Well, I suppose you could get to a pub, but you know what? I think they've missed a trick here. I think they could have set a big fan zone up somewhere with a big screen for it. I really do. Maybe at Trafalgar Square or something like that. I think they've missed a massive, massive trick here somewhere along the line. And, you know, it could have been a good little money spinner. Mighty Mag says, that sounds great. I'd be tuning in. Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah. Alan says, evening, Tony and all. Evening, Alan. Hope you're well, mate. And Niall says, big ups, Tony. Great video this morning. Guess where I am? Yeah, well, that video was actually a live I did back in December, when the day before England played Senegal in the World Cup. And I just thought, as we're going back to Wembley tomorrow, I just thought I'm going to repeat this and put it out there, and you know, just to get people in the mood for Wembley. So I have had quite a few people saying, "Oh, well, that video's not from now; it's from like months." Yeah, it was from 2 months ago, but I just put it out as a repeat, and I just thought it would be a good idea. And it's done well on viewings as well. Jody says, I think St James's Park should have the match on with all the proceeds going to the food bank. Do you know what? That's a great shout, Jody. That would have been fantastic. That is a brilliant shout. I don't know why they haven't thought of that, to be fair. Match day, it's 3:30 a.m. early to bed tonight. Oh my god, that's not that's very early in the morning, isn't it? 3:30 in the morning. Gosh, that'll be on a Monday morning as well, won't it? So it's unbelievable, isn't it? What time is England Senegal? I'm looking for the match should be a decent money to score in England to win 3-1. Devils rising. Evening, Tony. Evening to you, Reese. I hope you're well, mate. And I know you're panicking about tomorrow, thinking if we score first, it's going to be harder for Man United to get past us. And yeah, we want to score first, mate. I'm sorry, Reese, but yeah, let's hope so. I mean, get your predictions in the chats, guys. I mean, what do you think the score will be tomorrow? How well do you think we'll do tomorrow? You know, do get your predictions in. And we'll find out where Mr. Sinclair is as well. And we'll see what Mr. Sinclair's up to. But he's been around Trafalgar Square today, as far as I know. Apparently he met Matty Longstaff as well, didn't he? So if he comes on, I'll have to ask him about that one. But yeah. Andrew says, I read Devils. Devils rising. I'm very, very good. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow with all the respect. Hope you are good. I'm sticking with 1-0 Man U, of course. Yeah, definitely, mate. But you are, but I can't hold out much hope that you'll win 1-0. Hey, Andrew says Devils rising. Andrew says 7-0 to 2, and I would love that, Andrew. That would be fantastic. Thing is, we're going into the final in not great form. Man U have been great on form going into the final. But the final is a one-off game, and anything can happen in a one-off game. And that's where the form book goes out the window. It's like when you play a derby match, your form book goes out the window because it's a one-off game. So the final is a one-off game tomorrow, and it's who wants it most. That's who wants it most. And if, you know, and at the end of the day, let's hope it's us that want it the most. Jody says, Wembley's a difficult ground to play at. If we score first, we need to make sure we score second, try and stop the opposition getting back in the match, as they'll have to score 3 to win. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you're absolutely spot on there, Jody. He says 5-0, Big Dan burnt the ship the keeper. A bit like Albert did, yeah. Jake says, we'll want it more for sure. Yeah, definitely, Jake, definitely. Reese says, this is very true. I'm proper excited for it. Anything can happen. Do you know what? It can happen. Anything can happen, Reese. That's the thing. And yeah, we just look forward to it. Luke says, form counts for nothing in a final, 2 on the tune. Exactly. I mean, if you go back, I think, was it the 2014 final, the FA Cup final, Wigan versus Man City. Man City had the bulk of possession. You know, they were the team that were favourites to win that. And Wigan popped up the 95th minute through Ben Watson to score the winner, 1-0, and Wigan got relegated that season. So it just shows you anything can happen in a final. But you know what it is, so I want us to win this final tomorrow, because I know now all these pundits, all the media, they've all got their stories ready, thinking that if Man United win this, it's an easy print. Well, I'm sorry, you may have to change that print, because it may be Newcastle United who wins this trophy tomorrow and not Manchester United. And then they'll have to change that. Then they'll have to change all our news outlets all over again. Paul says, I believe that fate will be on our side. Do you know what, Paul? I really hope so, mate. I really, really hope so. Mighty Max says, 0-0 Liverpool full time. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, Salah hit the bar, but other than that, I'm sorry, Liverpool back down to earth with a bump on. Everybody else got thumped off Barcelona and drew away to Palace. And I'll tell you what it is, though. It's no disgrace to draw away to Crystal Palace, because we drew at Palace 0-0, and it was Pope who saved us. So it's no disgrace because Palace is a hard place to go to. Man U went down there and got a draw. Man City Wigan 2013, yeah. Greatest FA Cup final this millennium, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely, Geordie. I was close. I thought 2014. I wasn't 100% sure. Seeing City lose was brilliant, says Reese. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was fantastic to see Man City at the time get beat off Wigan, and great fairy tale for Wigan as well. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like I say, it's 24 years since we were last in a final, so it's great to be back in a final. And I can see this being a great final tomorrow. I really can. And two teams will be massively up for this game. But I think we want it more than Man United because we're desperate for a trophy. We ain't had one for 54 years. So we are absolutely desperate to get a hold of a trophy. And this is the best medicine tomorrow to get a trophy. So let's hope that's what we do. Gary says Palace and Liverpool 0-0. Yeah, Gary. Devils Rising 2014 was the Arsenal comeback against Hull, I think. Yes, I think it was. Yeah. Geordie says Wigan had Graham Jones as part of their backroom staff. Just saying, lol. Yeah, I mean, we've got Graham Jones. I mean, look how well England done with Graham Jones. You know, it just proved, you know, how good a manager Graham Jones, well, how good a coach Graham Jones actually is. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Paul says, Neddy, we trust, absolutely. Ian, hi Tony, hope you okay? Do you know what, Ian? I'm absolutely fine, mate. Thank you very much indeed. And I hope you're okay. Hope you're looking forward to tomorrow. Devils Rising. Question for you, Tony. Between the strongest 11 you have this season and the 11 from the FA Cup and Final 99, what would be your combined 11 of those two lineups? Oh. Do you know what it is, Reese? That is a tough one. God, yeah. That is a really tough one. That's something I would have to think about and maybe come back on the show with. But yeah, I like that one, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to star that one, and I'm going to keep a hold of that. And yeah, have to come out. I'll have to find out something on that one. Geordie says, revenge for the 90s. Man U have stopped us winning the Premier League and the FA Cup. Surely this time's ours. And it's got to be how are you the lads. Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, you know, Ten Hag can come out with all these mind games yesterday, but that ain't going to affect Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe is too thick-skinned to worry about that. Gary says, hope Newcastle are up for it more, Tony, mate. Yeah, I'm sure there will be, Gary. I'm sure we'll see a different Newcastle team tomorrow, that's for sure. Geordie says, hit the likes, guys. Thank you very much, Geordie. Yeah, please hit those likes. It does help the channel. And also, if you are new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so and helps the channel grow. Reese says, the fact that this is the first final for both managers as well is actually surreal. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I mean, Eddie Howe's never had a major final, and obviously Ten Hag's just started this season in England, so it's his first major final. So, yeah. It's going to be a good battle between the managers. Devil says, well, Jody, we just had all that killer momentum. I was surprised you never won the title in the mid-90s as your team was good. Yeah, we should have. We should have won that title. I mean, we were 12 points ahead. Unfortunately, we didn't. And it is what it is. Jody says, we weren't good. We were excellent, lol. Yeah, we were, Jody, absolutely. Ferdinand Shearer, what a parent, other than York and Cole. It's one of my favourite parents for a rival team. Yeah, Shearer and Ferdinand were absolutely electric together. They were a brilliant partnership. And when they were getting crosses from the G-force of Gillespie and Ginola, no defence. We had the best foursome, the best front four in the Premier League, by far, I would say. Like I say, we had Gillespie, Ginola on the wings, Shearer and Ferdinand up front. I don't think there was a better foursome out there than them four, because they were absolutely terrific. You know, it was just meat and drink for them players when the balls were coming in from Ginola or Gillespie. Devil says it's not just not better than us though, Jody, to be fair. Gary says Nottingham Forest got a bit of a roasting. West Ham 4, Forest 0. Yeah, I mean, that was a surprise. I mean, it was 0-0 half time, wasn't it? And I couldn't believe it when I saw the score, and I thought, Jesus Christ, where's that come from? West Ham all of a sudden. But, you know, it's what happens when you're fighting in the bottom three. You want to get out of it, and tell you what, that might just be the win that sets them on their way. That 4-0 hammering of Forest, that might just, you know, make them climb the table a little bit and climb away from trouble. Don't forget Piazzi. Yeah, absolutely. Piazzi's a great player as well, isn't he? So, yeah, definitely don't forget Piazzi. I mean, we saw the scenes today at Trafalgar Square. Like I say, they look absolutely fantastic. Dad and JB Rubin going undercover with hoodies on to try just to take a selfie, like with the fans behind them. You know, these owners must be so proud of what's going on. You know, it is just absolutely fantastic. It's crazy. Your four then, our different partnerships were killer too, but my neighbour is a Liverpool fan, very disappointing to be honest. But he never shuts up about the game versus Newcastle in the 90s. Again, Reece, they were fantastic games that we played against Liverpool back in the 90s. I remember we were 3-0 down at Anfield and we come back to 3-3, you know, and you thought then, okay, the comeback's on, we've got the 3-3 draw. Hopefully we either draw this game or we win it 4-3, and it wasn't. It was Liverpool who nicked it 4-3. Collymore closing in. We always remember that famous comment. So yeah, it was just absolutely gobsmacking. Those games were just brilliant. I don't want a 4-3 tomorrow, mind, but you know, I just want to see a great game. But our defence is a lot better than it was under Keegan. I mean, you know, back then it was like just score one more than the opposition was what Keegan's motto was. What's your favourite game as a Newcastle fan? Says Devil. Oh, do you know what? Devil has been so many. I mean, I could say the 2-1 win away to Leicester. That stopped us being relegated to the old third division. Now, I could say that was probably the greatest game, a favourite game, because that stopped us dropping down to the third division, which would have been quite disastrous for us, to be fair. But you know what? There's been so many. I mean, 3-2 against Barcelona at home in the Champions League. Bearing in mind, that was against a very, very good Barcelona team, may I add, with the likes of Pep Guardiola in that side. So that was a very good... that was very good. Do you know what? Like I say, there's so many. I could say the Feyenoord away in the Champions League was a cracking game because that was a game we needed to win to progress, and we won a 3-2. Craig Bellamy. The 8-0 drubbing of Sheffield Wednesday, another great one. You know, Bobby Robson. That was Bobby Robson's first game, so that was a good game. Do you know what? There's so many. I can't put my finger on a favourite game. I mean, probably the most favourite game would probably be... Do you know what I'm going to say my favourite game is? Actually beating Sunderland 5-1 on Halloween. Because I was at that game. That was when Nolan got a hat-trick and done the chicken dance. And, I mean, yes, we beat Man United 5-0. And that was in the same season that Man U beat us 4-0 in the Charity Shield. So, yeah, I'm going to say my favourite game is the Sunderland drubbing, the 5-1 at St James's Park. Because we were just relentless that day. And that was under Chris Hughton. So that's going to go down as my favourite game. Northumberland Jody, evening everyone. My heart says we win, my head says isn't so confident. This is the best chance we've had. I just think they're playing much better than us at the moment. Hopefully I'm wrong. Yeah, but Northumberland, the thing is, the end of the day, a final is a one-off. So who knows? It's a one-off game. Anybody can win it. Mighty Mag says, Tony, Bruno, PR just released a vid. At the end, they have a fixture as Manchester United versus Newcastle. Missed War United out. Yeah, that's the thing. They keep missing us out for United, don't they? I don't know why. John, good evening to you. He says United just beat Barca. Did you watch? Yeah, I saw you beat Barcelona. Well, I didn't see the whole game, but I saw bits of what I could after I finished on a show that I was doing. To be fair, let's be real. This is not a great Barca side. Let's be real. They are not a great team. Yes, they've got some good players in that team, and they had a couple of players out, but they are not a great Barca team. And to be fair, you beat them, and you've stopped them getting to the last 16 for the first time since 1985. That's one great run that Barcelona's had. You know, that's been a huge run for them for 39 years. But that's come to an end. Records are there to be broken, as they say, and you've broken their record. And we could break our record by going there and winning tomorrow. So, yeah, I see what you mean by that. And, yeah, I mean, you did well to beat Barcelona, who, like I say, aren't the same team as they used to be. And, you know, just see what happens tomorrow, John. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Reese says, the 4-4 Arsenal's a game I won't forget, just watching on the TV. Yeah, I forgot about the 4-4, yeah, and I was at that game. I remember that because we were 3 down pretty early within 18 minutes, actually. And then we were 4 down by half-time. And to come back in that game to 4-all was absolutely fantastic. And we almost won at the end when Kevin Nolan's shot just shaved the outside of the post. So we could have won that game 5-4. And that was a game where I thought, why on earth has Abu Diaby got himself sent off for? His team are 4-0 up. What is he doing? And I said to a fan sat next to me, why is he getting himself sent off? His team's coasting. He doesn't need to. I says, this could get us a couple of goals, yeah. In fact, I got the 4 goals through Diaby's stupidity. But I'm not complaining because it gave us an unlikely point that I didn't think we would get, to be fair. Northumberland says 4-3 win against Man United, favourite, best game ever. Had to be everything in it, goals, red cards, fights. Yes, I remember that one. Yeah, that was when Robert scored, wasn't it? Past Fabian Barthez, and Sheeran Keane had that scuffle, didn't they? So yeah, that was another good one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Northumberland, there's been so many. It's hard to really choose one. But I'm just thinking because it's rivals would be 5-1, it just makes it even more sweeter, doesn't it? Especially when it was Steve Bruce who was on the touchline for Sunderland and Titus Shambles was in defence for them and got sent off. Horses law. Devils says, nothing better than spanking a rival. Yeah, definitely. That's what you've got to do, haven't you? You've got to spank your rivals. Yes, great game, says Andrew. Tiote, absolutely, Andrew, yeah. Yeah, that goal he scored was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm sure he's looking down and thinking, look where the two are now. Devils see so many high-scoring games between us and Newcastle over the years. Always a good match. Yeah, it is. The problem is now, though, is, you know, under our previous owner, we really didn't have the luck against Man United, but hopefully that's going to start changing. I mean, last season at home, we should have beat you 1-0 up. Just after half time, Maxi had a chance to make it 2-0. And, you know, Edison Cavani got an unlikely equaliser for us. We could have won it near the end. Almiron's shot tipped over by De Gea. And then Jacob Murphy hit the woodwork. In that game, I felt we were robbed. Because I felt, man, you robbed us of a point. You got away with it there. And, but yeah, we should have won that game hands down. Yeah, proper mad goal, Andrew. Gary says, my favourite game is 5-0 against Man U and the full videos on YouTube. Yeah, that's still a great game, Gary, isn't it? Yeah. Devil says, I got the respect watch along in the title states Man United versus Newcastle United. I won't knock a name. Yeah, definitely. David, good evening to you. He says, we almost won that game against Arsenal. I think we hit the post or something. Yeah, Kevin Nolan hit the post later on, didn't he? And went out. And I just remember the Arsenal fans after the game, they were a bunch of bloody arseholes. I mean, you know, it says it all with Arsenal in their name, doesn't it? But yeah, I remember coming out and, you know, walking along and the Arsenal, you know, the Newcastle fans were singing "You effed it up" before 4-0 to the Arsenal fans, and they didn't like it. And they started they were pushing the police to try and get to us Newcastle fans who wanted to fight because they didn't like us chanting that against them. Well, I'm sorry, your team did eff it up because Diaby got sent off through his own stupidity. So I thought they were so, you know, it was like they had lost the game, but they hadn't got a point out of it. And I know they should have won the game, but they only had 10 men on the pitch. So what do they expect? If you only got 10 men on the pitch, you ain't going to get very far. So at the end of the day, it's their own problem. But yeah, I mean, as I say, tomorrow's game is going to be, it's going to be a good game. And I mean, I'll put out there what I think the team will be tomorrow. So I think making his debut tomorrow will be Loris Karius. He will definitely start in goal for me tomorrow. And then in front of him will be Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, Dan Burn. In the middle, it'll be Bruno, Joe Linton, Sean Longstaff, and then you'll have the front three that I think will start tomorrow will be Callum Wilson up front with Miggy on the right and ESM on the left. I think Isak will be on the bench, but he'll come on as an impact sub. And if this guy's passed his fitness tests, then I think he'll be an impact sub in the second half. Him and Isak will come on in the second half when Man U are tiring and help us get a foothold in the game if we do need a foothold in the game. But who knows? We could be well ahead of it. So let's hope. Let's hope. Ian says, I'm back, Tony. My laptop crashed. Oh, that's not great. No, I've had to do it before. I mean, I've done it before where I've come on to do a show and my camera hasn't worked and I've had to reboot the whole thing, the whole laptop to start again. And it's left me late getting on the show, but these things happen. Mighty Mag says, I can see a Man U player getting a red. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? I mean, Casemiro is a red waiting to happen all day, isn't he? If Willock is fit, I see Maxi sitting it out. But do you leave Maxi out after him giving a man of the match performance last week against Liverpool? That's the thing. And put Maxi on this big pitch at Wembley, he's going to absolutely thrive, isn't he? But you could be right. It could be Willock starting. Who knows? That's the thing. Who knows? So Jake says Maxi would be better off the bench if Man U are tired. Yeah, I agree with that as well because he'll give that. He's got that bit of pace. But I've just got the feeling that Maxi will be the one who starts tomorrow. I really do. I really think Maxi will. I've been watching all the videos from Trafalgar Square to get me adrenaline going, says Ian. Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? And as I say, I might make that decision to go down there tomorrow and see if I can get to a pub and watch it. So I think it'll be absolutely fantastic to be down there with the atmosphere of the fans especially if we win it, I think there'll be a carnival atmosphere down there, in all honesty. So, yeah, I think I might have to make that trip down there. If I do go down there, I will do a live from there. So I'll get into Trafalgar Square maybe and see what's going on there and just do a live from there as well. So let's see. But yeah, we shall see on that one. But guys, get your comments in the chat. Who do you think will start tomorrow? What's your team? If you've got a first 11 in your mind, stick it in the chat and we'll read it out and see if we're right by tomorrow. Let's play line-up bingo. So let's see if we get it right with Eddie Howe tomorrow. Because everyone that I've said this season, I've never got one right with Eddie Howe. So, it's going to be absolutely... it's going to be brilliant, isn't it? But, let's just see. I think John may come on. I'm not sure. I have sent John the link so he can come on because I would like to know what John's been up to today at Trafalgar Square. I'm just sending him a message. So just hope the residents don't want any sleep tonight, says Ian. Yeah, it's going to be a mad night and it's going to be a party tonight. Jody says, Carrius, Trippier, Botman, Share, Byrne, Bruno, Longstaff, Joe Linton, Almiron, ESM and Wilson. So you're going the same team as me, Jody? Yeah, I think so as well. And he says, alternative team, Carrius, Trippier, Botman, Share, Byrne, Bruno, Longstaff, Willock, Joe Linton, Almiron and Isak. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad to work out, would it? So, yeah, either way. It all, like I say, we don't know what Eddie Howe's picking, but we will find out at 3:30 tomorrow when the team sheets come out, and we'll know if Eddie Howe is, and if see what team Eddie Howe does put out there. But it's certainly going to be very interesting, that's for sure. But yeah, those scenes at Trafalgar Square, I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. Just going to bring something up on screen now. There we are, guys. There's one scene from Trafalgar Square. Look at how many fans are there. I mean, there's more than 32,000 fans in London, surely now, isn't there? Boy, it's just brilliant. It just shows how brilliant our support is. And not forgetting, the pubs in Newcastle will be absolutely packed tomorrow. It's just going to be mad. You're not going to move in the tune tomorrow. Ian says, would rather have Maxi than Willock. Yeah, I would as well, after last week's performance. David says, we took over Trafalgar Square because most Man U fans live in London, so they don't need to travel. Yeah, true. Jody says, the whole of Newcastle are at Trafalgar Square, lol. Yeah. Doubt pubs will be packed, they're all in London. Yeah, well, true. Jake says, how many do you think are at Trafalgar Square? I wouldn't like to even guess. Thousands. Absolute thousands. But I wouldn't, like I say, I would not like to guess how many fans are actually there. It's just absolutely mental, isn't it? To think. But at the end of the day, it's just absolutely fantastic. That our fans have just turned out like that. Even Isaac Hayden's put a tweet out saying Toon takeover. It's just absolutely brilliant, really, you know. And as I say, I just wouldn't know how many fans were actually there. I wouldn't even like to take a wild guess, and you know, just seeing if I can find some more. We've got. I'm going to share something else, guys. Just bear with me. Oh, I've got John. Here he is. Hi, John. You all right?
Tony, how you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. You're looking forward to tomorrow, John?
I am, mate. I'm not very bad. Looking forward to now. Like, it's going to be a cracking game. You know what it is, right? I'm feeling more. I'm going to say, right? I think this can go all the way, but I don't think they're going to get beat. But I'm feeling confident now. Bruno's back in the team, and I'm also seeing the back four's going to be the same. And the front three's going to be interesting. Who does he pick? I heard rumours as well. I could be wrong, but according to one of the outlets, Eddie could be starting Murphy playing start Murphy first. I don't know how true it is, but I hope that's not the case.
No, I hope not either, John. I can't see that happening, to be fair. So I can't see it, to be honest with you, John. I'm just going to share. I'm just going to put this on screen.
Yeah, man.
This is just absolutely brilliant. It's, just our fan base all over. This is. So let me just band that for you. There you go, guys.
Wow.
Our fan base is brilliant, isn't it? That's just brilliant. King's Cross Station, and just to come out like that, absolutely brilliant.
I think that's absolutely amazing. I've been on the tube, right? There's I couldn't see a Newcastle fan on the tube. As I got out, Tony, right? As I got out, and basically, they were all gathering in the square as well, and it just built up. Every 10, 15 minutes, it just built up all the time, and the atmosphere is just great. I wouldn't say something out of the way. They just took a break for a little bit, then it sang again, took a break, then it sang again. But it was just so packed. The place is about 50,000 in there. Well, Dory reckons 45, but I reckon it's 50,000 in that square. And if that is true to form, Tony, that is absolutely amazing. I spoke to a couple of fans that haven't got tickets just here for the crack. And I've met a couple of people that I have not seen for years. And I also have people, I've got a couple of, not autographs, a couple of photos as well, by the way, from people. So big up to the people that met us. Big up.
Yeah, absolutely, John. It's just fantastic how the fans have come down in their droves, to be there for tomorrow. It's absolutely brilliant, and I heard somebody say that you met Matty Longstaff. Is that right?
I did. Absolutely correct. And I met him, and this went too. I used to have other people as well, sort of things. I do a step in this way, sort of thing, So I thought I'd get a quick photo, quick autograph, not autograph, quick photo shoot, and that was it, Tony. And the thing is, as well, he's a good lad. He seems pleasant, and so it's just fantastic. What a guy! What a guy! So chuffed. I tell you what, I think I must have had. Likewise, I haven't had a chance to reply back to people, Tony, that I've got 46,200 likes, 1,250 likes, 46,000 views as well. That just goes to show that, do that right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking I'm going down there myself tomorrow for the match to watch it on TV somewhere. If I can get into a pub to watch it, that's the thing, isn't it, though? That's the only problem. Where's it actually going to be shown? I mean, I know the London Mags are down there, but I've actually messaged them on Twitter, but they've not messaged me back, and that was earlier on today. So, you know, I know they're around the corner from King's Cross at the Dolphin, but I mean, I can jump on a train from Cambridge down to London. It's only an hour and a half, and it's £26 return for two people as well. I mean, I'm really tempted to go down, and I could do a podcast when I'm down there as well. So, but yeah, it's I just can't wait, John, for the match. Really, I can't wait. I'm really, really tempted to go down.
I think you should, man. I mean, I think you should just come for the crack. I mean, if you come for the crack, then just go down the pub sort of thing, mix in the crowd, get there early sort of thing. Go to Baker Street and mix in as well. And then after that, you do what you have to do. And Tony is just absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to get myself up early as well. So if I do that, then I'll be absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? So, hey, get yourself down here for me, man. 26 quid, get yourself down here, man.
Do you think, I mean, we saw the thing when we had Dad and Jamie Rubin as well, incognito, weren't they?
Yeah, I've heard they went there as well, sort of thing. I just saw a photo shoot from Amanda and Jamie and Owen as well. If it's led to believe, I truly believe they were there as well, which I believe so. And they mixed in with the crowd as well, which is absolutely fantastic. They were in touch with the fans, not unlike the last one we've had. I don't mention his name at all, but look, at the end of the day, right, they were amazing, apparently, and they were fun as well. I hope we win the trophy for them as well, because they deserve it. I can't lie. But at the same time, I think they deserve it, Tony. I think they deserve it as well. If done. Yeah. And it's just a fantastic, man.
Yep. Well, I've got another guest here in the green room, John. And, he's a really nice lad. And he's actually a favourite for a lot of my people in the chat. They actually like this guy and they think he's absolutely great. So I'll not keep him waiting too long. Without further ado, I'm going to fetch him in now.
Cool.
Welcome, Reese. You all right, mate?
Hello, everybody.
Reese from Devil's Rising.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah, not too bad, mate.
Thanks, man. How's Reese? Are you looking forward to the match tomorrow?
It's good to see you, John. I am actually looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm on a bit of a high, obviously, from Thursday. Not going to lie, but different animal tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good game.
And do you think tomorrow, though, Reese, the thing is you haven't had a big turnaround, so these players have got such a quick turnaround to tomorrow's game, the second half could be a factor for them, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think the best option that we've got tomorrow is probably to play like how we did against Leeds when we drew when we beat them 2-0. I was going to say the 2-2 we started differently. The way we started against Leeds when we beat them 2-0, I think we've got to play the same way against you guys. It's not that we didn't show Leeds any respect because they're a rival. It's we literally just kept hold of the ball and just disciplined ourselves, maintained it, forced Leeds onto us. So Leeds were completely expelling energy, and by the 77th minute when eventually we scored, they were completely dead. They had nothing left, and it opened up space, opened up gaps, and eventually we just picked them apart and we got the second goal. Had it gone to extra time against Barcelona, I would probably say we should do that exact same approach, because against Newcastle, obviously, high intense press, very energetic side, work really hard as you do. You deserve the plaudits on that. I would say do that and just make you guys expel energy because you've had a week off. But I think we should mix. I think Ten Hag will mix things up tomorrow. I think he will actually utilise some of the Leeds game in a way where we can just relax the players and just not totally relax. We were vulnerable to counter-attacks, but we're relaxed in the sense that we're not burning ourselves out, and then eventually in the second half we'll try and pick it up. But I still think we'll try to dominate the possession of the ball, keep it so we can force you guys onto us in the same way. I think he will take parts of that game and also parts of the second leg from Thursday when we beat Barcelona. I think he'll use both in the way against you guys, and I think it's probably the best action we've got.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, you know, we know how to play against you. And like your manager said as well, Ten Hag, he said, we play an intense game where, you know, with our intensity. And that's sometimes hard for any team to play against, isn't it?
That's what he likes. Our manager loves teams that actually want to play football. He doesn't like teams who just sit back and bore you to death, and then in the last minute they'll pick up a goal. He hates that type of football. It was the same when he was at Ajax, and same when he was at Utrecht. Like, he wants teams to come at them. He wants it's like a boxing match. Like, you want to have like. Eventually, the fight's going to start really quick. Like, you have like two fighters who want to start quicker. There'll be one fighter who'll maybe slow in and he'll get up in like the third or fourth round, and then he'll just start to knock the shit out of somebody. But Ten Hag wants it right at each other from the very get-go. I think he will generally hope that Eddie Howe has you guys come at us from the beginning, and he'll have the exact same approach to you guys. It's proper heavyweight clash, in my opinion, and I don't want it to be a boring game. I don't think it's going to be, but I don't want both teams to take each other lightly. I want to see a little bit of respect there where we feel each other out in a way. But I know I'm comparing this to boxing, but it's actually the best metaphor when you think about a final. Like, it's about who pulls that first punch, who gets the killer blow, and who knows, like that one killer blow could just be one goal. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I think it is a one-goal game tomorrow. I've said that consistently. I think it's going to be a one-goal final. Could it be 1-0 90 minutes? Will it be 1-0 after extra time? I don't know, but I don't think it's. I know a lot of people are thinking high amount of goals scored. I'll be surprised in the nicest way if there's a lot of goals, because even though we score a lot of goals, you score a fair amount of goals. Our defences are totally different, but we manage games a lot better. I think in terms of the league this year, I think Arsenal have managed their games really well. I think City are a bit mixed, but I think us and Newcastle have actually been the best two teams all season in terms of managing games out in different ways. So I'm looking forward to it. But I think one goal, and just like who hits it first, and I'm looking forward to it from any angle. Win or lose, either way, it's going to be a good final. So,
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you did say the other night, Reece, that you don't really want us to score first against you because you'll find it hard to break our defence down.
I did, yeah, and that's just open honest, because I think you guys are really good at shutting out opponents. Like, you are really good at that, and I said it on John's channel last night. Like, I put it in his live chat, where I think you have been in terms of the league, where I think we're one of the best teams in Europe. Like, we've got 19 goals. We're actually the highest scoring team from substitutes in the top 5 leagues this year, 19 goals from substitutes. But I still think where we've got our record of 2+ goals in 13 consecutive games, which is a record for us, I still think the fact that I openly said I think Newcastle have dominated about 90% of the league this year. I think these have dominated about 90%. I think the only teams you haven't generally dominated is ourselves and Liverpool. Maybe Arsenal, I don't know. I'd say the first game, I think you gave Arsenal a good goal, but I think the second game, I'm not so sure, but I would say us and Liverpool. I know obviously Liverpool are the only team that beat us twice, and you drew against us. But I think you couldn't beat us, we couldn't beat you. But it was so balanced that you couldn't dominate us and we couldn't dominate you. So I think tomorrow it's about who controls that ball, and it's the midfield for me. It's the midfield that decides. I think we're balanced, attack and defence. I think we're very balanced. It's the midfield combinations that will decide it tomorrow, in my opinion.
You know what it is? You know what it is, right? I mean, you said the first goal to be very, very important.
Yeah.
Midfield's very, very, very important. That's why we've got Bruno back. If Bruno didn't come back, I think United would have probably just about controlled our midfield, because we sadly missed him for the last few games, and the games we should have been winning as well. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, he is absolutely crucial. Will he be match fit? That's another thing. I think he'll be fine, but you got to stop from playing. Yeah. But at the same time, we got to stop Casemiro as well, because Bird is getting better. He is getting better, and Casemiro is doing Casemiro's things. I've started calling Caster class.
Yeah, I agree. I think the one difference between Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes, I think Bruno Guimaraes is amazing. I wanted United to sign him before you guys did. Same with Isak and Kieran Trippier. The one thing I think there's a major difference for us compared to Bruno Guimaraes is Bruno Guimaraes has not played a single bit of football since he got that red card, whereas Casemiro has benefited from playing just 2 Europa League games. I think he's benefited that he's at least still match fit. I still think Bruno Guimaraes is I think he's a quality player, and technical wise, he puts in a shift. He fights like tooth and nail. I like that in a player, and I like the way he conducts himself on the field. Even though he doesn't have a lot of match fitness or pretty much none at all, I still think he is going to be rare to go because obviously he is involved with your training. So I still think he's going to be, at least in that sense, he will be fit. But I think it will take him, I would say maybe a half to catch up to speed with Casemiro. I think even though Casemiro's got 180 minutes like on his belt, I still think it might take maybe 45 minutes for Guimaraes just to catch up. But I think it's the second half where it really will determine like who's going to win the battle, because I think it's going to come down to those two. I don't think Joe Linton, even though I think Joe Linton's fantastic, I don't think Joe Linton's going to be the difference in terms of controlling the midfield. I don't think he's that type of player. Same for us, Fred or Sabitzer, whoever plays beside Casemiro is in my opinion completely irrelevant. Like when you've got your other midfielders, like so you got Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Longstaff. So I think he'll want to get a bit of distance. Same as like Fernandes for us, like he'll want to get a bit of distance on the ball. He'll want to drive at opposition. But I completely agree with you. It's Casemiro versus Bruno Guimaraes. That's where it really will come down to for me tomorrow. And I think it's going to be probably the best battle all season in terms of midfield. Like a lot of people were saying the best midfield battle is going to be Busquets versus Casemiro because of the El Clasico rivalry. I was like, yeah, that's one of them. But on a cup final day, I think this is going to be the biggest battle of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you on that one, 100%. I'll just nip into some comments. Eddie House, Black Mite Army says, the police reckon that there's 45,000 there.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Andrew says, Yari John.
Big up, Andrew. How we doing, mate? Big up to Ian.
Ian says, hi, John, as well. David says, yes, the man. Hi, John.
Hi, David. Yeah, right.
Lee says, you all right, Tony? You all right, John? Yeah, we're absolutely fine. Eddie House, Black Mite Army. Is this John who supports Man United?
No, it's not.
That's never going to end. That's never going to stop with you, mate.
Rolly says, hi, Tony and John. Hi, Rolly.
Hi,
Geordie says, hi, John.
Big up, Geordie. Hiya.
So does Gary.
Big up, Gary. How you doing, mate?
Lee says, Isak and Maxi second half when Man U run out of steam and change the game, mate. What a great video from the train station. That's what you call tough fans, absolutely. Del Boy, Gunner TV, great guy Del Boy is. Hi, mate. He says, there's my 2 favourite tunes. I'll be in Dublin tomorrow morning going to Man United bar with my tune hat on. Come on, the Magpies. Come on, Del Boy. Good lad. He's an Arsenal fan as well.
Del Boy, you're sacked, mate. You're sacked as a mate. You're stacked, mate. I'm just kidding. It's good. I'll tell you one thing though, and I think I like that comment there about the Man United running out of steam. I generally think that is going to be the case where we'll eventually tire out. But I think the one key difference though is the rules. Obviously, in terms of football, it's no longer 3 substitutions. The fact it's five. I think the fact it's 5 substitutions balances it out really well. So I don't think we'll fall out of steam really quickly. But I think the one good thing about our manager and your managers is they react really well in game. I think one telling point for Ten Hag this season was I don't know if you watched it, but when we played Chelsea, I thought we were really poor against Chelsea. I thought Ten Hag's game management and the whole thing was shocking. His tactics were superb, but he wasn't really recognising when to make changes properly or when was the right time, because that's what he done at Ajax. To be fair, he prolonged games as much as he could with his main choice. Whoever had on the bench, he would bring on, and he would just knock teams out in the last 5 minutes. Since that Chelsea game, his timing for substitutions has been perfect. And like I was saying the other day, I mean, the fact that Barcelona game, since Man City, when we got thrashed off Man City, we've won 23 out of 30 games. Like that's just when's that ever actually happened in the Premier League before? Like not forgetting the likes of Antonio Conte and Ancelotti and like Mourinho when he was first here and all that. Like just like somebody who's literally just come to the Premier League where they've had an absolute howler of a start. Couple of wins in between, then they get ripped apart by your local rivals, and then you think, oh God, he is like all the fans were saying he's going to last 10 months, it's not even going to last that long, and he goes and does this. Whereas in contrast to you guys, I think you are just so good at organising yourselves position wise that it's literally just that little pocket of space in midfield. And I said to put in John's comment yesterday. If like Newcastle's way to win is to stop Casemiro feeding the ball to like Fernandes and Rashford, because then we're most likely going to score. But for us to stop Newcastle, it's the first phase of play, because these are so good at breaking through. If you get through that first phase of play, we are in trouble. So I'm generally looking forward to that one pocket of space in the midfield. One little mistake will generally decide tomorrow, and well, you know what side I'm hoping.
Yeah, exactly. Chris says the Boozers will be making a few quid, especially in around London. Absolutely. Ian says, "Hi Reese, I love the t-shirt."
Thanks very much. I'm a big wrestling fan, obviously, so like I do wrestling podcasts. I was on mine today, and obviously I'll be at the rest. I got my tickets actually, really good pricing for London. So I got my ticket, 500 quid a ticket. There's folk paying $1,000. I got mine for I got paid 500 quid. So I'm staying in, is it Shoreditch or something, like in London?
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm staying there 2 nights, like hotel, and then I've got like the train's like 100 quid, like there and back. I'm like, fuck that. But luckily I'm staying a couple of days in London. I've been to London since I was a kid, so I'm going to proper explore.
Yeah, I was going to go to Box Park tomorrow. Well, I looked at Box Park Shoreditch tomorrow, but
yeah,
they've got some tickets left, but it's like they've sold out online, so you got to be there, and it's like whether you get one or not to get in. So
I wouldn't tempt it.
And Box Park Croydon, they've only got tickets for the table of 6, which is 70 quid, and I thought, there's only 2 of us going, so I don't want a ticket of 6, do I? But,
no, you're right there. Like
Matt says, it's our time. Last trophy, 1969. I was born a long time ago. Absolutely, Matt. And Derek says, swing low, sweet carriers coming with the Carabao home. There we go. What were you going to say, John?
I was going to say quickly, right, I've heard today, right, I don't know if you guys heard as well, that I spoke to a few people today, that this guy bought a ticket of Club Wembley, right? You know, you have to buy a package for a couple of grand before you get a ticket.
Yeah.
Apparently, this guy, I was spoken to today, he bought a ticket for 150 quid. So his wife's going to do the shopping, he's going to the match. He paid 150 quid through Club Wembley, right? That was it.
How the hell did you manage to get a cup final ticket for 150 quid? That's
How's he managed that?
I have to say in the nicest way possible. That's minted.
Yeah.
I have Wembley just got tickets left over and they want to get rid of them.
It could well be. It could be that. But at a price, though, but 150 quid. But they must know that our fans are desperate to pay the money. Do you know what I mean? They just pay the money.
How much was the tickets beforehand, though, like when they were originally selling? Like, I don't know how much.
Hey, John, if they're going for 150 quid, I would have bloody bought one and gone into the match tomorrow.
Crazy, man. There you go. Absolutely crazy. But
I would have done it, John. I would have paid 150 quid to go in tomorrow.
The thing is, though, right? If I was you, I mean, I didn't do it on the day, but go for Club Wembley, ask them, right? See how you go about it. It's up to you, but I don't really pay through the nose, though, Tony, or anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
No,
so,
I wouldn't.
You gotta be careful. The fact that he's done that for 150 quid, that's well, like I could say that's a really good deal, but 150 quid, even though it's desperate on the day, like the day before the game, just sounds a bit suspicious, you know, like 150 quid. I think I believe him if he said 250, but 150 just sounds a little bit suspect, you know. I think that's crazy.
Something's not right there, yeah.
That's a fair 150 though, like for a game, a cup final. You can always say fair play on that one, but I think he's 100 quid. I think he's pocketed about 500 quid or something.
Yeah. Lee says it'll be outstanding seeing the war flags in Wembley, seeing the new ones there, absolutely. He says, good on Adam Pearson saying about Nile Ranger. I'm going to come on to that in a moment, but before I come on to that, everybody that's in the chat, if you like what you see, please smash the like. It does help the channel up the search results. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, please hit the subscribe. Free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or an upcoming show. I'm now on 390 subscribers, so 10 away from 400. Let's see if I can smash 400 by the end of February. That's only a few days away. And if you want to make a donation to the channel, there's a link in the chat. Click on the link and follow the instructions. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Yes, John. So, Nile Ranger. Adam Pease reported him to Club Wembley. He was selling tickets. He wanted to sell tickets to Newcastle fans for over $3,000. This is a guy who should have.
Yeah.
Even Borough Mud kicked him out. What's your thoughts on what Niall Ranger's done?
I put it on the tweet, right, as well, how I feel, right? This guy is an absolute scumbag. Real talk, yeah? To him to go out and do that, right? Try to sell tickets, right, to your former club's fans, right? And try and con them. This guy's a fraud, right? He's been done for fraud before, right?
Yeah.
And he's not a good advertisement, is he? I mean, look at how you spell Bobby Moore. It's spelled M-O-R-E, not M-O-O-R-E. That's disrespectful for Bobby Moore. Great league Bobby Moore, Barry. Spelling his name wrong for it, right? Mm-hmm. He just didn't care, right? And then he goes and says about making ready for Turkey and Syria. He hasn't even thought about that at all whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? People got killed because of that too. He never even gave that a moment's thought about Kusanatsu, right? That he sadly passed last week, right? But for me, I've got to be clear, right, guys? Scamming, I think, is absolutely a sick and utter disgraceful thing to do, right? I hear that, right? Secondly, right, greed is an evil word, right?
It is.
He doesn't care, right? Thirdly, I hope that his name is being blacklisted all over the country to make sure that it doesn't get anywhere near our tickets again, and I mean again, because this guy, he is an utter disgrace, and this guy is a scumbag. He is a robbing scumbag, and I'll tell you what, I posted out there yesterday. A lot of people agree with what I'm saying, but he's got absolutely no right to go out and do that at all. Now, whether he's one or not Newcastle fans, guys, I don't know. But one thing I'm going to say, right, this guy, real talk, right, should not even be assisted with football, guys, ever again for what he did. And I'm sorry about that.
No, John, absolutely. I mean, it's disgusting to try and exploit fans in that way, but also using Turkey and Syria as well. It's disgusting. You know, anybody that uses charities and, you know, as a way of making money but doesn't pass it on are just scum of the earth, basically. You know, it's absolutely disgusting, and it needs to stop. But Club Wembley are looking into it, so hopefully he's lost those tickets, because it's just absolutely disgraceful. And I know the comments are coming in the chat. I mean, Derek
I was just going to say there, sorry. I haven't experienced it firsthand, but it has happened in our fan base as well, where a very well-renowned Man United fan has scammed people out of tickets to matchday fans, and it's ridiculous what he's done. Like, value-wise, he made, I think it was like 20 grand, something like that. It was ridiculous amount of money he made just like pawning off tickets. But he was saying it was face value, but it wasn't. It was ridiculous amounts of money. It was like high increase, like top dollar, and I'm like nah, like. The fact that, like, I knew of Niall Ranger, like, because I watched, like, a regular watch stuff on YouTube, and I watched an interview with him, like, funnily enough, from a Newcastle fan. Like, I don't watch his stuff anymore, but I used to just randomly watch, like, the kickoff. I used to watch it because I like football, so I watched, like, the kickoff from time to time, and I watched the interview that I know he's a bit of a nightmare himself, that's why I don't watch, but like True Geordie stuff. I watched Niall Ranger's interview with him because I wanted to hear what he had to say. And he was literally asked, like, he got asked the question, have you generally fucked up your career? And he went, yeah, I've fucked up my career. And he's like, I can't do anything about it now, but I own up to it. And I was like, how can you own up to it now? You already fucked up. You can't own up to anything that you've already done. You've already done it, mate. Like, owning up is just trying to say you've not done anything. And you're like, actually, maybe I did. Like, you did, mate.
Yeah.
I was like, what is, like, he's a strange arse fuck. He's strange as fuck. But, like, the fact that he's done that, I feel like to any fans have bought tickets off him or have tried, I generally feel sorry for them as well. I hope they get reimbursed. I hope he actually coughs out the money. If he's actually sold anything, I don't know. But also, like, I agree. The fact he's used charity as well, and he's not even, and he hasn't even disregarded the fact that the Turkey and Syria, like, circumstances, which has been absolutely horrible throughout the news, and then not to even think about, like, one of his own, like, he may not have played with him, but colleague-wise, Christian Atsu is still a colleague to him as well as a human being. have a little bit of common sense and have a little bit of appreciation for the dead. Have a little bit of respect for what's actually happened, rather than going, "Oh, by the way, I've got tickets. You want to buy some?" Like this is the worst part to football. Like apart from like the abuse that people get, like racism, like for example in Spain right now, Vinicius Junior. Like that's another thing that's not being that's another thing that's being constantly like talked about. The fact that he's done this, like that's just. I completely agree about blacklisting, but I'd go further than that. I'd stick him in the neck.
Do you know what it is, right? You know what it is, guys, right? I mean, also as well, I mean, I've made a quick on this as well. From next season, right, I think you're going to have a ticket, it should have your name on that ticket. And have a FIFA ID with that ticket to make sure it doesn't go out to black markets as well for resale process, guys, you know?
Yeah. It'll get put somewhere, and the worst thing as well is they'll know he'll know how to exploit the system as well. Like the one thing is that we've seen it with professional footballers about like gambling and stuff, like how they hide stuff for so long, then eventually get caught. The fact he got caught very quickly is actually quite interesting. Like I find that quite interesting. He's been caught quite quickly. I would have said maybe like just as the match has started or something, he'd have been caught, but he's been caught a couple of days before the final. I think that's absolutely mental because how slow they are.
Yeah, I mean, Derek says, my ticket's 150 quid from the NUFC box office, first group, but as I'm a pensioner, it only cost me 75 quid. Nice one. Because he's probably gotten the hour of the front as well, John, so...
Aye, that's good value, that's good value.
That's good value.
Lee says, it's a wonder Ranger hasn't had a bat off anybody. Well, you know, he did admit when he was at our club, he used to hang around with the gangs in London and all that and got into trouble a lot when he was a youngster. So his criminal record's probably as long as what my arm is, to be fair. Derek says, Niall Wanker, more like it. He says bloody predictive text because he tried to put that in. But yeah, I mean, the guy he's a complete
horrible human being. Horrible.
Yeah, I mean, over 40,000 people have lost their lives in Syria, in Turkey. It's absolutely disgusting, you know, and you know,
it screams opportunity. It screams opportunistic to me. Like it's really like there's certain types of people, but he screams opportunistic more than just a scumbag. Like he's actually picked. He's picked. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but he's actually picked his timing perfectly. Like I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's actually perfect timing considering how he's based it on. It's disgusting. Like it's proper disgusting, but he's actually done it perfectly because he put it in line with a world, like something that's actually going on in Europe that's worldwide. Like that's the worst part. That's the second part of perfect is he's actually based it around a disaster, which is horrible. But the worst thing as well, this is the worst thing as well. It happens all the time. Like it's beyond just saying predictable or shocked. It happens all the time now. If something happens like a tsunami or a hurricane or something like worldwide disaster, there's always somebody who's just going to rinse people for stuff, and I think that's the worst. Like that's the worst side to like society.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I mean, you know, when the likes of Christian Atsu have lost him, you know, in this earthquake, but I see it on Facebook. I've seen it on Twitter before. You know, people are saying, oh, well, we'll do this for charity, do that for charity. And you know fine well they're not. They're just putting it in their own pockets. And it's absolutely despicable how people can do that, you know. We had a woman in Durham who was sentenced to 9.5 years in prison a few weeks ago because she said she had cancer and she was selling holidays to people because she was a travel agent. She was selling holidays to people. And she pocketed a hell of a lot of money out of it. Some people did go on holidays, but others didn't, and they just. She eventually got caught and got 9.5 years in prison. And you know what? That's her own stupidity. And I hope you know, by the time she comes out of prison, she realizes she's done wrong and she won't do that again. But you know, people like Nile Ranger are just, you know, that's scum of the earth at the end of the day, and they don't deserve any airtime whatsoever. But it's obviously an important project thing to bring up. But if people are worried about ticket scams, I've said in the past, if somebody's selling the Newcastle tickets, say online, even if it's just for a home game, and say, for instance, you live in Durham and they're saying they're in Chesterley Street, just say to that person, I'll tell you what, can we meet somewhere and I'll hand you the money and you give me the ticket.
Face value.
Now, if it's a genuine person, they will say yes to that, no problem. If they say, I can't meet you, we'll have to do it online, then say, hang on, there's alarm bells ringing here, because why do they want to do it online? I know somebody who bought a match ticket, a friend of mine, and was scammed. He'd never received a ticket though, but he'd paid the money over and couldn't claim the money back. So you've got to be careful in that. I always say meet somebody face to face if they're going to hand the tickets out. I mean, I got concert tickets once to Paul Weller, and I mean, these people were genuine. They actually asked for under face value because they were for that night as well.
All right.
But they were actually trustworthy of us because they actually left the tickets outside for us because they had to go out. They left the tickets for us to put the money through the letterbox, which we did anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but there is some people out there who probably would have just took them and not give them money. Do you know what I mean? There is people like that out there. Unfortunately, that's how sad this world is sometimes. But at the end of the day, you know, you just got to be wary of ticket scams. And if you do want to know more on ticket scams, go on northwestmax.com website. And there's a section there which Sefton's put in for ticket scams. Check that out. And that'll tell you every bit of information you need to know. Yeah. But don't fall into any traps, because with the cost of living these days, people can't afford to lose money. With heavy inflation rising and bills rising, etc., etc. David says, Black Lives Matter did that as well. Terrible making money, dividing people at the same time. Racism is a real problem. They didn't help anyone but themselves. Biggest scam ever. Again, yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that one. I mean, you know, like all this stuff now that we've got to do, and we've got to be politically correct. It's like, you know, all these TV shows from years ago, which are like, now have got to be sorted out because you can't have them on. Like Love Thy Neighbour, for instance, you can't have that on now because
you can't even buy a Roald Dahl book anymore. I mean, that's crazy.
No, yeah.
I mean that's crazy. I mean, that's a world-renowned children's author, and all his work is having to be reworked because it's like a few phrases. I mean, I can understand how having to be politically correct and all that because you don't want to upset anyone. You don't like, but you see all the time from everybody like across the globe where it's such a woke generation. It's crazy what can and can't be said anymore, but also it's crazy what we can't do in terms of forms of expression. Like, I think it's really like, well, what's the point in being human? Like, what's the point? We may as well just get plugged into a computer and just be an android. Like, it's crazy definitely. What we can. It's crazy what we can and can't do. It's mental, but like, nah, it's horrible. Like.
John says you can't put a people's name on a ticket because if there's tickets for a prize draw in a competition, an EFL ballot. Yeah, but I think John's on about people who have purchased tickets, so I think there should be a name put on that. You know, but you know, the only other way is going down the ID route. Like if you've got a ticket, you need ID to see you've got that ticket, but it's something that's always going to be around until they combat it somehow. You know, but you just got to be wary. You just got to be switched on and just remember that sometimes if something is too good to be true, then it probably is too good to be true. But I mean, like I say, back to things like Love Thy Neighbour. Back then, things like that happened. But at the end of the day, you know, it's only these people who are coming out and saying it's all wrong. It's just, you know, the thing is, you're never going to teach right from wrong if you can't have this sort of thing on, you know, for debates and things like that. But that's the way the world is now. It's just crazy. Derek says he's in row B level 2, John.
Nice.
I'm in block level 5, block 539. And I'll be at the back. I'll be at the very back, Derek. I'll be at the very back. So.
The very back, eh?
Ian says, you can watch Love Thy Neighbour on YouTube. I love it, but it never made me racist. Absolutely, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
It's not... Yeah, exactly. That's, you know... And the thing is, at the end of the day, things like that were comedy gold back then. So why take stuff off like that? You know, does it not make you more racist that you know, does it not make you more racist that you're taking stuff like that off? You know what I mean? It's just, but then the thing is though, with stuff like that, people are just going to find it elsewhere to watch. So you're never going to get rid of it completely. And I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, Ian, thank you for your donation, mate. Thanks very much indeed. Very much appreciated.
Well done, Ian. Thanks, Ian.
Lee says, I had tickets given to me off players and I gave them away. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to say, oh, I'll sell them on. Do you know what I mean? But that's the problem. People are trying to profiteer off our success of being in the final for the first time in 24 years. Rolly says, I used to like Love Thy Neighbour, but looking back on it, it was wrong in so many ways, though. The black couple came out on top, a show of its age. Exactly, Rolly. That's exactly what it is, mate. And it's just...
Yeah, I thought it was a really good show, but yeah, I mean, watch some old school stuff back.
Yeah.
It's the same,
exactly.
like,
I mean, that was back in the 70s.
There's other shows as well that you can't have nowadays because they think it's being offensive to Scottish people. You can't have Rabsy Nisbet anymore. Because look at that, he was he was absolutely brilliant, but he was culturally offensive in every single angle as a pure Scotsman. Like any form of a bit of offensive content he can put in, just as a joke, it was actually accepted as a joke. You wouldn't get away with it now. You totally can't get away with anything now, whether it's just being slagging off his own country or just slagging off anything else. Like, I think the problem is nowadays with society is like how you talk about like what's like. John will agree with this as well because obviously he's very active on social media. He's active on Twitter. Is what's acceptable for having a conversation with somebody? You can actually have like a little bit of banter where you're having a bit of banter towards a club. But if you're having an organised debate, you can't have a proper conversation once banter comes in because then it just kicks out the conversation. But like you can have a civilized conversation and you can have banter. You just cannot make one fair. Like if you make a fair comment nowadays, you just get shut down. And I'm like, you should be able to still have a good conversation with somebody. Plus banter makes it better.
I just had someone earlier on calling me a sex offender, right? And I blocked him straight away. I looked at it and I blocked him straight away. And I just replied back to him, just say, get a life and blah, blah, blah. And I just blocked him.
Yeah.
You know what it is, like? To come out and say that, well, you don't know us, you don't know your background, and you come out and say that, then I'm sorry, right? That person says no in the bin.
It's error of judgment, massive error of judgment, like from that individual.
Exactly. To me, he sounds like a racist. I don't care what it is. He sounds like so I just blocked him. Sorry, he's in the bin.
I mean, you talk about Rabsy Nesbitt, Gregor Fisher, who played Rabsy Nesbitt, absolutely brilliant. And I used to love Rabsy Nesbitt, by the way. I used to think it was hilarious. And
so funny.
I know some people didn't like the humour, but I thought it was funny. I mean, it was about a drunk Scotsman from Govan in Glasgow, you know, with his string vest on and, you know, but it was comedy. It was so funny. And I used to love it. I used to be making sure I used to watch. I think it used to be on 9:30 at night on the BBC too. And it was hilarious. I loved Rabsy Nesbitt. It was funny. And it's just absolutely stupid. I mean, my dad's from Edinburgh. Well, was from Edinburgh. He's no longer here. But my dad was from Edinburgh. And, you know, and for 1 minute, I don't look at that and think that was racist, you know. And it's just unbelievable. I mean, I go back if I go back about 30 years ago, a good friend of mine is, you know, his mum and dad owned a shop in Cruddas Park, which is a rough part in Newcastle in the West End. And obviously they're a Pakistani family. And I mean, because I was his best mate, one of his best mates, I used to have good banter with him.
As you do.
And you know, and I was in there, and I was in the shop one day, and I just turned around to him and I says, I'll see you later, Packy, because, you know, he used to laugh. And I said to him, see you later, Packy, and these two old ladies were in the shop. oh, you can't say that. That's very offensive. That's racist. That's disgusting. And that was back then. And he actually turned around. He actually turned around to these two old ladies and he said, actually, you're being racist and offensive to me. He says, because at the end of the day, he says, that's how we address each other in Pakistan. He says, that is just short for our name. He says, so don't come in my shop offending me by saying that he's being racist when that does offend me more.
Wow.
And these two ladies didn't know what to say. They just like clamped up and got on with doing their shopping. But I mean, he was not happy. He said, no, that is wrong. And he says, actually, this guy's my best mate as well. So,
I'm glad you actually brought that up in a sense, because like even around like where I am as well, like growing up, as I used to hear it all the time, and it was just like I know, likewise to yourself, I've got good close personal friends who are from Pakistan, but I'm like I will never use that term, because I thought myself growing up, just like, because you just do not know what is racist, what is not. And I used to hear people say it all the time, and they would always just like shrug it off. So I'm like, okay, that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but I'm still not going to say it. But then when other folks said, I think, who they were associated to, they would laugh it off as well. But only if it was like certain people they maybe just didn't get a good vibe off, it would really piss them off. So I'm like, here's the thing: when you're using that word, is it just like in the context you've said it, where like I'll see you later, and it doesn't seem offensive to them? Or is it just when you go, you add something to like afterwards, like calling like a bastard or like a few other times? You know what I mean? Like when, and this is the thing, like, where like the whole part of like culture and understanding language and subtext and what's been said to people is, it's not that it's automatically racist. When does it actually become racist when you use that word? Because there's some people who will treat it as a racist word, and there's some that don't. And I've always like, well, I'm like, in the sense of I've never said it, I'm never going to really be sure. So what's the flaming point in saying it? And I think that's the whole point of like where people get racism wrong, where like some people think they're being racist. Some people think they aren't being racist, but then they're actually being racist and they get told. And then there's some people who will say something like, I think like I see this as well I saw this on a TV show. It was actually bizarre. Somebody referred to something like, "Oh, this I've got a lot of friends who are black." But but then the strange thing as well, though, is immediately went and they actually put their hands up and said, "Sorry, I'm not supposed to say that." But then the person they were speaking to went, "Well, I'm just going to ask you a question. Are your friends black or white? Or are they from, or are they Latino? Or anything like that? Or are they from Asia?" And they went, "No, they're just like black. They're just black from the Black British." So like, so he went to him in respect to him. "You don't need to apologise. That's not being racist." And the guy standing there going, "Well, how?" He's like, "You're not using it in a racial context, in a way you're being abusive. You're just saying that your friends are from Britain and they're black. Just like when you go to them, what are you?" And he went, "Well, I'm white British." And he's like, "Do you put that when you put on the websites like government or when you're applying for a passport?" "Yes, because that's how you identify." And the guy went, "Oh." And I was like, and the guy went to him, and it's one of the best lines I've ever heard. He went, "It's not that you're being racist. You're not. What you're actually doing is just ensuring complete context." And I'm like, that's where I've always like thought about what certain things you can and can't say. So I'm like, it's really weird what society deems racist and not racist. And I think some people generally do worry about what they're saying, because it's the same in education now. Same like education, like you don't know what you can and can't be taught, because if you get taught one thing, it could be mildly offensive to somebody else. You know what I mean? So like, I think it's like I think that's the worst part about society nowadays, is like how we educate people. Is how do you educate when if you feel it yourself, you're actually not. If you feel in yourself, you're actually being offensive. If you're being offensive, how can you actually educate someone? I think that's the scariest thing. What would you think on that?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Reese. I totally agree. I mean, he used to call me names, but I didn't take it offensively. If I was going out, you'd say, "I'll see you later, Whitey," or, "I'll see you later, half and half," because he used to take the mickey out of it saying half and half. Because when he first called me that, I says, "Half and half." I says, "What's half and half?" He went, "Well, your dad's from Scotland, your mother's from England, so you're half and half, aren't you?" And I'm like, "All right, okay." But it used to make, and it made me laugh, and it used to make me laugh, and I used to say, "Right, okay then." And And then that, you know, if I was going out somewhere and you'd say, and I would say, see you later, you go, see it, and I'd say, yeah, don't say it, half and half, and you go, actually, no, I wasn't going to say that, I was going to say whitey, but, you know, and it was just great banter, and that was the good thing about it. And I never took no offence to that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it does, it gets me when people, you know, sometimes people will say, if people say things in a racist manner that isn't nice, then yes, I'll come out, I'll condemn it.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes people aren't saying stuff to be racist. Sometimes people are just saying it how it is. I mean, you know, you can't be so careful how that is the confusion. And, you know, it's like, I think like application forms had to change and things like that. It's just getting ridiculous now.
Yeah.
How you know, it used to be at one time, it used to be like, are you white Caribbean? Are you black Caribbean? Are you white British? But you can't have it that way now. It's got to be separate now. So it's got to be separate.
Yeah,
like white, black, Asian. Like that, like, that's separate.
Yeah,
and then it asks you if you're British, Caribbean, or American, Australian, whatever. You know, it's just it's just absolutely crazy.
That's the part where I think it really does cause problems, and that's funnily enough what's actually in line with now Ranger. And I'm not going to say this guy, you should go out and abuse this guy in the same circumstance, but you can guarantee for a fact, and this is the worst thing, you can guarantee for a fact, just because of how scummy this guy's been, I guarantee, because I think he's still active on social media or something, he will be getting racist abuse for this. You know he will be getting for what he's done, like the ticket scams, with all the ticket scams, he'll be getting racist abuse. And that's another, like, I don't condemn his behaviour, but I refuse to condemn the shit that he would get towards that. If he gets called like a scumbag and all that, then no problem, because that's accurate. But you know he'll get, you just know he'll get that because of how high profile he is, and people know who he is. And it's, I think that's the worst thing as well, where he's in a situation where he's wrong, but then immediately he's going to be defended.
Yeah, absolutely.
All in all, though, at least he won't be at your game tomorrow. So.
Yeah, true. Ian says, I'm Scottish, but Rabsy was greatly outgoing too far with PC Brigade. I do agree with you on that one. Derek says,
yeah.
Some with it ain't half hot, mum. Hilarious now, but deemed homophobic and racist. Ridiculous. But meanwhile, back at Wembley, I'm fed up with football being politicised. Exactly. Troll says, evening to you, Trolls. Derek says, but Edinburgh's Glasgow phobic. Yeah.
That's very true.
Troll says, evening Tony, John and guest. It's Reese, yeah. Evening to you, Trolls.
All right.
And he says, the problem today is people are so sensitive. I mean, if I'm offended, it's on most of the time because people don't know what offends me. Yeah, it's very true, Trolls.
I mean, you want to tell? Want me to tell you what the most offensive thing I've ever been told? And it's not that I've been told to kill myself or being told that I wear glasses. I've been told on social media to kill myself. I've actually been told to put my head between a vice and just split my head in half. The most offensive thing I've ever been called was either a Scouser or Welsh. I literally got told I sound Welsh or I sound like a Scouser, and I was like, how the hell do I sound? First of all, how do I sound Welsh? And how the hell do I sound like a Scouser? Like, where? I'm like, there's
offending me. You don't sound like either of them. You don't sound like either of them.
I know. I was like, there's offending me, and then there's that. I mean, that's offensive to me, but I was like, Jesus. Nothing against the Welsh. I mean, I've been to Wales. It's a beautiful country, but to say I sound Scouse? Oh.
No one there. You don't.
Joel says, we are one human race. Exactly. Derek says, meanwhile, back at Wembley, absolutely. We're going to... Oi, lads, up the mags, says Ashton. Yeah, definitely, mate, up the mags.
All right, Ashton.
Lee says, I used to work doing security at the respected concerts. What a great day's out, meet some great people. Yeah, definitely, I bet you did as well. Ashton says, what's that night are we talking about here? We were just talking about, in general, about like Nail Ranger and things like that.
Yeah.
Got your man shirt yet? Ready yet, John?
He's wearing it. It'll be underneath that jumper he's wearing.
Donald Franks thought I was getting football talking about question time. Nah. Anyhow, racism is generally active, narrow-minded dickheads, but on the same token, people are easily offended. Yeah, absolutely, Donald. And it's not right at all, is it? It's but football will do the talking tomorrow, that's for sure. Ian says, evening trolls, did not see you there. Mason says, I generally can't get to sleep because of the nerves for tomorrow. Yeah, you've got to get on the bus in the morning as well, Mason, so make sure you get a bit of sleep, mate. Sleep on the bus as well if necessary. Ashton says, John's looking tired, being quiet.
Yeah, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning and got my jobs done, going straight to London. And not only that, right, I'm still there and got amongst it as well. But yeah, I could do some sleep as well in a bit, like, you know what I mean?
Aye.
But other than that, I'm cool.
I'm just laughing at Troll's comment. As of now, he is Nile Stranger.
Yeah.
That is. I applaud that, sir. I applaud that.
Brilliant. Ashton says, surprised it's a late one tonight. Yeah. And Donald says, Mason, put through black and white eyes on, you'll soon drop off.
I'll be going to. Well, I'll be watching. I'm rewatching Suits from the beginning. I'm halfway through season 2, so I'll watch the rest of that season 2 tonight. Then I'll put on some Stone Roses as I go to my bed, and I'll wake up with Stone Roses, and then I'll crack on because I've got my watch along tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up now because it's been going an hour and a half, and it's getting to 11 o'clock, and I want to try and get to bed as well and get some sleep, and I'm sure John does. And so, but before we go, I'm going to go around the table. So, Reece, do you want to let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me right here at Devil's Rising on YouTube and Twitter. Literally, Devil's Rising with a 1 because I'm the only one. And you can find me as well on the Weekly Armchair as well every Saturday, literally today, as I do my wrestling podcast. And that's more or less it, really. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Before I come to John, James Batista, Real Madrid, best in the world. Well, they're not a bad side, are they, James? And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers for
sparking. Still going in Trafalgar Square.
Cheers for sparking
That's
Liverpool in midweek.
They're still there.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, well, most of them are. Joel says, wrap up. It's way too early, Tony. Wrap up. Lee says, John, got Man U sock on and Newcastle sock on. Nice one, lads. Come on the tune.
Well, he's got to represent, eh? He's got to represent.
Troll says, great show. Jake's asking for a prediction before we go as well. And Donald says, Carrius will be singing I'm the Resurrection too. Absolutely. And yes, what's your score for tomorrow, Reece, as well before?
Just like I did on the preview show that we done on Wednesday, I'm sticking with it 1-0 Man United.
Yeah. And John, do you want to let people know where they can find you and your score prediction?
Yeah, I'll give my score prediction first. I'm going to say I'm going to change my mind. 1 each, and it'll go to penalties, sweat, extra time, pens, I'm afraid. I think this game could go either way. It's a 50-50 game. I can't separate it. But I'm going to go 1 each. I love seeing Newcastle win it, by the way. But the reason I'm saying that, because Man U are on fire at the minute. But if Rashford doesn't play, then I think we've got a great chance. But then again,
he is in the squad. He is in the squad confirmed. He's in the squad confirmed, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be playing tomorrow as well. He'd be playing tomorrow.
Absolutely.
No, 100%. And for me, I think we do it on penalties as well. 5-4. And also as well on my socials, you can find John Sinclair TV on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube as well. And if you want to find us on Insta, it's John Sinclair 50. I don't use it as much, but I will get around to it. And on Twitter, it's John_NUFC42. And I have posted 2 videos tonight. So please check them out. It's Newcastle United fans take over Trafalgar Square. Stick a thumbs up on that as well, please, which would be absolutely fantastic. And I'll see you back on a live stream probably on Monday. So check us out for that, guys.
Troll says, great show. Thank you very much. James says, wish you guys luck though. Newcastle, glory to the UEFA Champions League. Yeah, thank you very much. Let's hope so in the future we do that. Donald says, a Rangers and UFC double.
I'll take the first part. Rangers beating Celtic tomorrow. I'll take that, but not the second bit.
Wow.
Bia says Karius looks like Jesus because he's our saviour. Ian says, great show, Tony. See you later, John and Reese. See you later, Ian. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks for the kind word, Ian.
Lee says 2-1 Newcastle. Longstaff to score the winning goal a few minutes before full time. And Troll says it's different when it comes to a final. It's all open then, in my opinion, absolutely. Guys, you can find me on It's All Black and White TV, which is on the screen behind me, where you're on my channel anyway. And you can find me on Twitter down there at TonyTony31. Follow me and I will follow you back. And Ian says no Celtic to win. I know.
You get one. You get one or the other, Ian. You get Celtic or Newcastle, not both.
Yeah. Oh. So, guys, if you like what you see, please smash the likes. It really does help the channel up the results, so up the search results. So, on your way out, just smash that like. Just press that little button. Thank you very much. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. It's free to do so. It helps the channel grow. And the bell notification tells you when I'm live with a pre-record or any upcoming shows indeed. But yeah, guys, but this is Carabao Cup Final Eve, and tomorrow is the big day. So it's like Christmas Eve, and then tomorrow's like Christmas Day, but it's Cup Final Day tomorrow. So it is sort of a Christmas Day in a way for all us Geordie fans. We know Man United fans have been used to it in the past, but, it's our turn to get used to it, and, let's hope a lot more come our way. And I've just got the last two comments here come in. Coffee says, hi, Tony, John, Reese and all. Hi, Coffee, but buy coffee because we're on the way out. And Ian says, sorry, both, lol. But you'll have to catch up with the show from the start. And Lee says, been a great show, lads. Take care. Thank you very much. And Coffee says, have fun, John.
Thank you very much indeed. And like I said, I'll be on Baker Street tomorrow. I'm going to go to a place Tony recommended us as well, so I'm going to do that. And then
the Metropole.
The Metropole, that's it. And I'm going to go to, hopefully go to a pub. There's a pub, Holsfeed here. Is it the Globe Pub? Holsfeed 1000, something like that.
I think so, John.
I may go for that. And then I will get myself to Wembley. So I'll get there. Wembley as soon as I can.
As you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, that's us checking out here. But look forward to the match tomorrow and tune in tomorrow morning because I have got a breakfast show on in the morning and I will be having Pete live on the coach, hopefully. And I've told Pete to grab me a couple of Newcastle fans on the coach and I'll ask them some questions and see what they think ahead of the game tomorrow as well. So that should be good. That'll be around about 8:30 in the morning. So keep your eyes open for that one. So until then, guys, take care and thank you for watching and see you later on. Bye-bye for now.
Take care, guys.